We're ready for that 67th running of the ExpressBet.com Florida Derby, Saturday afternoon, Gulfstream Park, the place. And you know what? The place also, our XBTV studios. Jason and the Mig, we've got a $750,000 guaranteed late pick four. It's an all-graded stakes late pick four as well that culminates with the Florida Derby. So let's talk a little gambling here, Mig. Let's do it.
And some really good races here. I mean, I know there was a lot of depth in all these races, but for me, there were a few horses that just became crystal clear. I didn't want to complicate it. I've got a $9 ticket, but I'm kind of comfortable with my $9 ticket.
Well, we do have some firepower, and I'm glad you do have a single coming down the pipe in the Florida Derby, who we'll get to in just a few moments. But it does begin, $750K guaranteed, with race number 11 Saturday. The forecast, by the way, in Hallandale Beach looks terrific. High of about 80, clear and sunny skies, and that's a good thing for the field of fillies and mares and the Grade 3 Honey Fox. Who are you using in this one?
Well, I went 3 deep here, and I'm going to use Lull from the Christophe Clement barn, number 2. I love her inside draw. She loves firm ground. I think she's going to get that great inside pocket trip, that coveted turf trip. So I like her very much. Saw her at Payson Park the other day. She looks terrific. The 6-horse, Grizzle, go back and watch her race. Lost her action the first turn, was ranked, through her head. The fact that she ran on and even got back in the race to finish second, I think if she just gets a nice, clean, settled trip, she could be tough at a price. And then On Leave. How do you not use On Leave? She loves firm ground. She's 7-14 lifetime. She's a 5-year-old mare. Now, Shug McGaughey's horses continually get better and better. So she's a must-use.
She is a must-use, even with the outside post. And going a mile, keep in mind she's got post 10. They have a little bit of a longer run into the clubhouse turn, going 2 turns on the turf here at Gulfstream Park. Me, I'm using 2 of the 3 you talked about. Lull classy, On Leave classy. They've got to get the right trips, don't get me wrong. But if they do, I still feel, and I feel going in, they're just a cut above or a cut or 2 above everybody else.
Yeah, and I agree. I think the class edge is definitely there. I like them very much. But the more I went back and watched the replay of Grizzle, I said, you know what, if this filly beats me, I am a kind of a trip guy, a trip handicapper, if you will. And as good as she ran, I had to include her on my ticket.
Now, we have a big field waiting in leg number 2 of this guaranteed late pick 4 on Florida Derby Day. Race number 12 is the Grade 2 Gulfstream Park Oaks. Jam-packed here. I mean, you've got 3-year-old fillies essentially climbing over themselves to get into the entry box. My own is 16, 2 turns on the main. It's a first finish line race. I prefer the fillies coming out of the Devona Dale and Take Charge. Paula, who's basically handled every test they've thrown at her thus far. And I like Cash as well coming out of that race. I know she didn't run all that great. I do think that's the kind of effort, though, being down inside, chasing, having horses all around, that's going to springboard her forward.
Yeah, and she has had a lot thrown at her. Went from a maiden race right into a graded stake in the Devona Dale. Now she's stretching out to 2 turns. But talking with you before we went on camera kind of convinced me to use her on my ticket. I like her, and I know she's a classy filly. I don't like Take Charge Paula. I just don't believe she wants any part of 2 turns. I think she's too speedy, and I think ultimately she'll turn back and be a very good 1-turn filly, a filly that possibly could win a race like the Test over the summer. I think that's what she's going to be most comfortable doing. I am interested in number 2, though, Coach Rocks as well. I think they finally figured out exactly what she wanted to do. She went 2 turns on the surface she wants. She's not a sprinter. She's not a turf horse. That's when she stretched out before. And I thought she was ultra impressive here, so I'm going to use her as well.
She's 1 of 2 in the race, trained by Dale Romans. If I was going to go 3 deep, I would use the other Dale horse, CS in Charge, who seems to have just quite simply found her stride. And I like that she was able to back up. At the time, I thought her maiden win a couple starts back was a little fluky, but she shipped over to Tampa. Not an easy place to ship in and win at.
No, it's not. I mean, there's a possibility, though, I heard that she may scratch tomorrow, so that'll keep you from having the angst of not including her in your ticket if she does scratch. I heard that there's a possibility.
If she scratches, I'm going in with Coach Rocks. You sold me on her, so let's see if we can get lucky in
But
the
also,
GP
my
Oaks.
3rd horse here would be Princess Warrior. Was up at Payson Park. She's obviously faced better at times. Ran in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies last year. And I think she looked terrific. That 102 work at Payson Park, too. They don't work that fast there. So that's where I'm going for my 3rd horse. I'm going 2, 4, 9, 3 deep in this leg.
Sounds great. Let's move on to the 13th. We've got Sadler's Joy. You're a fan of the game, and I think we can safely assume that if you're watching XBTV and watching this Pick 4 analysis, you love racing. And that being said, in this Grade 2 Pan American at 3 turns and a mile and a half, it all really starts and falls in behind Sadler's Joy, who's just, he's as honest as the day is long.
Yeah, if he can run his A race, which he did last time, I think he'll win. I think he's the best horse in this race. He's a difficult horse to ride. He makes the lead and wants to pull up. Julien Leparoux really fits him like a glove. He just sits on him, waits, makes that last run. And I think he gets enough pace in here to set up his late run. You know, obviously we have One Go, All Go. He's going to go from the outside. But then you get other horses stretching out, like High Happy, even Classic Covey, Little Nick V. Stretching out a mile and a half, I think they're going to show more speed.
I like High Happy, too. He strikes me as kind of an all or nothing. You're either going to look really good with him winning, or he's just a complete trap in this race, because the trimmings are there. It's Pletcher, it's Saez. He's got speed. He's way handier than Sadler's Joy. And he's been able to, at least going back to South America and Argentina, he could stay 12 furlongs, no problem.
Yeah, he will say the difference and distance. And coming off that race to Heart, I mean, he showed his class. He showed he belongs in top flight company.
No doubt about that. So we're on to the big one here. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm very bullish here. I've got a strong opinion.
Ooh, well, it's the 67th running of the ExpressBet.com $1 million Florida Derby. I was thinking back just with Florida Derby week here, Richie. My first Florida Derby as a fan was watching Holy Bull back in 1994, and that was just one of those efforts that made me a fan forever. So I'm curious to see who will answer the call come late Saturday afternoon. This is just, it's always been such a great race.
Well, someone's going to really have to step up big to put themselves in that Holy Bull-like category. We haven't seen anybody quite like that yet, at least not here on the East Coast. We'll see. But I think it's a very competitive race. I think there's a lot of ways you can go. But I landed on Catholic Boy. I think Catholic Boy is the horse you want. I love the way he's training coming to this. I think Manny Franco made a little bit of a mistake allowing him to idle next to Flame Away for so long at Tampa. And I just think that he'll get ridden a bit different and make one run instead of trying to make 2 runs, which he did when he won the Remsen.
Audible, morning line favorite. Todd's won this race 4 times. Johnny V has won this race 4 times. They hold the record in terms of trainer jockeys with Florida Derby wins historically. That, to me, off Audible's dominating win in the Holy Bull. He's my single here. If he wins, I'll cash on this pick 4. I just thought his Holy Bull was absolutely awesome, dominant. First start at Gulfstream, and let's not forget his first going 2 turns.
And listen, he's a very good horse, and if he runs his A race, he is absolutely the horse to beat. I just am not crazy about the way he's been training up to this. Now, you can watch his works on xbtv.com and make your own mind up. I don't mind if a horse isn't a very enthusiastic workhorse. What I don't like is how abruptly he dropped back going into the turn, his last work. To me, that was just enough for me to take pause and take a shot to try to beat him. So I'm singling Catholic Boy. I think the horse is coming into it the right way.
It is a neat little underlying theme, though, of this year's Florida Derby, where you have the mentor against the mentee with Todd Pletcher and Jonathan Thomas knocking heads, as Jonathan was a longtime assistant to Todd. It is kind of neat how this race is shaped out.
We'll talk about coming full circle as well. The horse that I believe, or feel very strongly, that put Todd Pletcher on the map was More Than Ready, and that's really his first big horse.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Catholic Boys by More Than Ready, and Jonathan Thomas, you know, it trains him. It is kind of an interesting dynamic.
Well, it should be a fun day again. $750,000 guaranteed. It's an all-graded stakes, pick 4. Card begins Eastern, I'm talking, a little after 11:30 a.m. And always fun talking some ponies with you, my friend. Have a great Florida Derby day.
You too.
You, everybody out there as well. Go get them.